Let's Talk Oculus, a VR podcast, is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus.
What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome to Let's Talk Oculus, episode 91. I'm your stand-in host, Samson. I've never hosted anything before, but I've seen it done a few times, and I'll give it everything I've got. I'm joined by the famous, the beautiful, the funny, if it's multiplayer and not PvP, I'll play it. Jenna, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me again. That's exciting.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm doing great. And it's true. If it is multiplayer and not PvP, I probably will try it.
You see, I struggled there. I was like, is it PvE, PvE?
I don't mind PvE. Like, I love Mother Gunship Forge. I have some other games I'm supposed to play. I haven't played yet. I don't mind PvE. As long as there's somebody else in there that's better at shooting things than I am, I'm good.
Well, you just got to play more with Brandon.
That's right.
All right. Well, anyway, today we're going to discuss what we've been playing. I'll discuss a little bit what I've been buying and not playing. We've got some news to cover, Quest Pass leak, some other Quest features, and a Little Mermaid. And then we'll wrap things up with a couple game releases. So, Jenna, what have you been playing?
Okay, so I have my little handy-dandy notebook. So I took notes just to make sure I remembered what I've been playing. So
that's good. You've been playing so much.
I play a lot of VR. I played Quantaar. I did check that out. I know you checked it out too. So we can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
So Quantaar is a new multiplayer brawler. That's what it's called. It's basically like Super Smash Brothers, right? In VR. The one thing I really think is cool is I want like all the skins. I'm a collector. I want I want a pink, whatever the robot guy is with like a beanie on or something, or a mohawk, or I want something. But you can only use tokens. And so I wanted to ask you, and I hadn't asked you yet, I saved it. So we can talk about it today.
Oh boy.
If you win a game, do you get tokens?
All right. So I have yet to figure out all the currencies. There's like 3 different currencies.
Yeah.
And the coins, like the gold coins, I think you get from winning or doing your daily tasks.
Right.
Or there's like season-long tasks as well. And then the pinkish one, I believe that one you can only buy with money.
And those are the ones
that
buy all the skins.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's it.
Yeah, I figured that's probably the case, but since I have yet to win a game, I didn't know if maybe I'm just missing out on the tokens because I haven't won.
I gotcha. No, they'll I think that's their that's their hook for money. Yeah.
It's a free to play game. I get it. We went in, so I was with Bits, and first game we went into, like, the 2 we were playing against were decked out. Like, I don't know if they were like, oh, I would normally spend $20 on this game, so I'll buy $20 worth of tokens as well instead, or whatever, and buy all the cool things. I was so jealous. I was like, I don't want to cool like that. I don't really care about the gameplay now. Now I want to like deck out my character.
Yeah, I won't lie. I hopped in. I was like, all right, I want to support them. I'll put in the $5. And then since I was on Steam, it like went to boot that in Steam. You can't like do it in game. It's not as easy as Oculus to just buy those packs. So I ended up not buying it. But yeah, I think I might buy the $5 one if I keep hopping in. There's a few things let's get the negatives out of the way here, because I played for over 2.5 hours. So the gameplay I did enjoy. I played like 10 soccer games with Brandon. We went undefeated. I think the closest game was like 7-1. I'm not sure if people are just really bad, or Bits mentioned like clipping through the ball. My mic?
No, I said I'm really bad.
Oh, you're bad. Sorry, I have mic issues. So
I was like I'm really bad.
Yeah,
this girl right here.
Yeah. So I enjoyed the soccer. The brawling I played a couple of those, enjoyed it. I play this little cat character, mostly button mashing, which is pretty much how I play Super Smash Brothers. So we went into the social hub, which you can have 30 people in, and we were there with what, 6 friends, and then we realized we couldn't go into a game from the social hub.
Yeah,
Had to
that was
go.
crazy.
I think somebody told me that was a bug, so I haven't gone back
I
to
hope
check that.
so.
And I also didn't see a way to play like 2v2 against friends, right? Like
Right.
Brandon and I were able to play games against other people, and then we randomly got
Bits and
in a
I.
match with you and Bits. Yeah. But I didn't see a way to either observe a game
Yeah.
or to have a friendly match of 2v2. So most of my time spent in it was just me and Brandon playing games.
Nice. So the other question I had, did you check out the social hub at all before I joined?
I did.
I heard there were
did.
cool little games and stuff in there. Cool
Uh,
is not the right word. Okay.
I mean, the idea of them is great. So there's 3 floor, like there's a whole bit. It feels like you're in a big, I don't know, mall type esque, right? You go down the hallway. There's an elevator up or down. On the first floor, there's bowling and cornhole. Those felt decent. I mean, it's obviously not going to feel like forever bowling, right? It's not a bowling game. Those felt decent. Like you could play them to an extent. I went upstairs and there was beer pong and darts. Darts no go. Like I don't know how they developed the darts, but like I was like having to like I was like having to hold my controller real weird. Could not figure out how to release it. Not great. The beer pong worked. It didn't feel quite as good as bowling and cornhole. And then on the basement floor is like a Top Golf thing. I didn't play that, but my buddy Will was playing. He uses index controllers, and I guess it was having a hard time. He was having a hard time maintaining his grip, and every time you let go of grip, your club resets. So he had to keep going back for his club. Yeah. But I can't speak to how like hitting the ball felt in that.
Yeah. Okay. So I know Danny has jumped in there quite a bit. He's a friend in a bunch of the Discords, but he's jumped in there quite a bit as solo, and he was having a great time. So I've heard solo play is not as buggy or janky or whatever.
Yeah.
So I may try to play solo. I mean, the good thing is you can't hear the other people, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing, Jenna. I think solo or with one other person, you're good.
Yeah.
Because I had a fine time linking up with Brandon and playing games.
But did you have to drop after each match?
Okay, yeah, there's no rematch button.
Right. You can't like stay in a team.
So I think we figured out that after a match is a few, like it shows you your scores or whatever, and then you can skip the menus. If I skipped through the menus before Brandon did and got back to lobby, he would then join me like auto. But and I was the one who started the party. I don't know if that matters either. But if he skipped through first and then I skipped through, I would have to re-invite him.
Ah, okay.
This is, I imagined these are like the frictions that ideally get worked out in the first couple weeks of this game. It is a free game, so no loss really.
Yeah, no loss other than the space, I guess, on your quest if you have a super small one.
Matters more for Dan.
Right, Dan, don't get it. Just wait.
Yeah.
They get a bigger quest. It's not a must-have right now.
Definitely not a must-have. I do enjoy the gameplay. Like I said, I played over 2.5 hours. That's longer than I play in a lot of games. And it does have daily things they give you coins to try to get you back, and they're not all match related. Like one of them was fist bump. Another one was like change the music track. There's a record player type of deal in the hub. Change that. So there's a lot of things you can do to get the gold.
Cool. Very cool. So, do you want me to keep going?
Yeah. What else have you been playing? Yeah.
Okay. So, The other thing I played, well, I have my list. It's a lot. And I know some of it you were there, so we can chat about it together. But the other thing I played a lot of this week is Audio Trip. So, little backstory. I have been involved in dance since I was 3. Basically, I've taught it. I've been on teams. I tried out for the Dallas Mavs dancers when I was 18. Like, I've been in the
You're a dancer.
I'm a dancer. I just want to dance, man. You know what that's from? Dazed and Confused.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I've definitely heard that one. Nobody puts you in a corner. I know that one.
Nobody puts me in a corner, and I just want to dance, man. So, Audio Trip. So, anyways, I like rhythm games. Rhythm games are great. Beat Saber and Synth Riders, fine. Like, I'll play them. It's fine. But for working out, I normally did Supernatural because 1, I loved the music. 2, I like boxing, and it was a little dancey, kind of. I'll get back to that. Hold on. So it's a little dancey, kind of. It's different than Les Mills Body Combat. I have that as well. Tried it. Don't like it at all. It's
that
like
one sits on my quest.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
So not going to be playing Body Combat. But anyways, Audio Trip might get me to cancel my Supernatural subscription. It's that good.
I'm glad you say this, Jenna. I'm sorry to interrupt you because you were talking a lot about it. So I hopped in this morning for my workout, and I took some notes, and it feels like it's like exactly what you're saying. It's like a combo of Synth Riders with Supernatural. Mm-hmm. It's like it feels like I did the cardio mode, like there's difficulties, and I was like, I'm trying to work out. I'm gonna do cardio, and it feels just like a gamified workout, more so than Synth Riders. Like you're moving and a grooving.
Yeah, it was so fun. And so found out about it when I went to South by Southwest in Austin. The creators, I think his name is Brandon. I know her name is Ashley. I think his name is Brandon. Sorry if I got that wrong. The Coopers, I'll just say the Coopers. They came and met us at we were at this bar that had like games and stuff, like board games, and I think it had foosball, stuff like that. And it ended up being like this hub where a bunch of people came, like some of the Synth Riders, people came, like the people who work for that company.
Cluj.
Kyle Render from Failed to Render Comedy came. And so like I got to meet a ton of people, and I was with Eric and Skiva and Alex and Jasmine. That was it. And so they just kind of met up with us there, and Eric was like, you would love this game. You're a dancer. This is your kind of game. Like, Ashley is also a dancer, and she did all the choreography. And so she's like a belly dancer. Like, she is legit amazing. And so I talked to her about dance for who knows how long while we were playing What the Meme board game, card game or whatever. Yep. And I was like, I'm going to get it, and I will reach out to you and let you know my thoughts. And it took me, a few months to actually like download it and jump in, because, you're used to like, busy. Yeah, you're busy playing other VR games. Yeah. But I was used to like Supernatural being my workout, and I was like, how good is that? I mean, it's going to be another Synth Riders. Synth Riders is fine, but it's not my go-to. I went in and I was so impressed, and I'm even more impressed with the like custom choreography. Like, there's this whole, Discord with people who have created custom choreography. I've downloaded a couple of them. I've downloaded some of my own songs and started working on it. So I think it's going to be filling up a lot of my workout and creativity time.
So when you upload your own song, it automatically creates the beat, like the choreography, so to say? Kind of.
Okay. You can tell it like on what beats. So like one half, quarter, eighth, or whatever. And it will mark, and you can go through and like trigger, like you can basically put your hands where you want them, but you can't like go, okay, now I want to, throw, or I want to drum or whatever. You have to kind of go in. So I'm still working on it. As soon as I have one done that I like, I will share it with people so they can see. And so, so that was really cool. And I know Dan will probably talk about it at some point, but he met them in Albania randomly. Totally not there for VR.
Dan be working for a code on that one. He's like, hey, I'll try if you send me that right
I talked to Eric Q2C Gamer on the Patreon chat. They do a live Patreon chat and Discord every Monday night for their Patreons to talk about the upcoming episode and stuff. It's really fun. So, join this Patreon, but then join that.
I think I am one of their Patreons, and I just never.
You should come join. Yeah, it's normally Monday nights, either at 7 Central or 8 Central.
Okay. I think I'm I'm definitely working, and I'm usually watching PSVR without parole.
Yeah, well, but that normally ends by then.
It starts at what, 6? It usually goes like 90 minutes at least, I guess.
Yeah, but you're Eastern time frame, so.
All right, Jenna. All right.
It doesn't go 2 hours. Okay. So anyways, so I was talking to him and told him I reached out to Ashley, but she has her as she should, has her Discord set up where you can't send her a message unless you're friends. Mm-hmm. So he had to reach out to her separately to be like, hey, accept this friend request. So hopefully I'll hear back from her. Nice. But yeah, so that was really fun. What else? Okay, next.
Hold on. So I did enjoy my time in Audio Trip. A few things so in Synth Riders are like the things you got to dodge or whatever, like the things. And those are also sort of in Audio Trip. But in Synth Riders, you just have to dodge them with your head.
Right.
And in Audio Trip, you also have to dodge them with your arm. Like you can't have your arms go through them. So that threw me off. I was like, why am I missing these? And then the tracking at times is just not quite. I'll miss 1 to 3 notes each song I do where I don't feel like it's me missing the beat. But outside that, I especially it felt like a better workout than playing Synth Riders Master. As far as you're moving, slammed my controller against my desk because I didn't realize how much I'd moved.
Well, and I found 2 things with that. One, I turned off the boundaries at first, or the barriers or whatever they're called, because being that I've danced my whole life, my knees suck. I have very little cartilage.
There's a lot of squatting. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I turned them off, but then that dropped my score by 40% every time. And I'm like, no. I need to be on leaderboards. That's my new goal. That's going to push my workout forward. So I turned them back on, but I had my boundary set as one of the what's the one that's not stationary? It wasn't stationary. It was the one where I drew.
I got your room scale, yeah.
And if I hit outside the boundary with my arm, it wouldn't count it as
I got you
hitting the thing. And so I had to change back to stationary so that I could hit all of them, because it would be out of the reach, but in stationary it wasn't. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Weird.
So those were 2 things that I noticed with it, but I just turned off the boundaries, and it's not terrible, or the border, what are they called? Barriers. Mm-hmm. It's not terrible. But yeah, I wanted to make leaderboards happen.
And I'm bearing the lead here because this is my favorite part of the game, which is not really a part of the game, but the UI. I freaking love.
It's so good.
I love the touching. Get rid of laser pointers. I love the touching. You're touching the buttons. You're scrolling like it's a freaking phone. There's haptic feedback as you touch things, so you feel like you're touching it. More games need to do that. It just reminds me of Dead Seconds and touch interface. That's the way it. It's so frustrating in Beat Saber to be trying to pick a music pack, and it's just I'm I can't get one. I'm no, oh man, I just love the UI. So Audio Trip, bless your UI. That's something special.
Their visuals. So did you play the level that had it almost looked like Mario?
I did not change.
Little pipes come up and stuff. It was so cool. And then I played a custom song that somebody did to Barbie Girl by Aqua, and it had palm trees. It was super cool.
I haven't delved into the custom tracks yet, but yeah,
it was neat. I like the visuals. Now I will say Supernatural, you can't beat punching shit on top of a volcano. Sorry, am I allowed to cuss on this podcast?
Sure.
Sorry, Dan. You can't beat the photorealistic 360 view, but it was really cool. So, okay.
All right, let's move right along.
Yes. So we both, I'm going to kind of combine these 2, and then I'll do VR chat last, because that's going to be a lot. So we both did big screen. We watched Journey to the Center of the Earth. I only attended one, but I know you watched two of the movies.
Yep.
And I wasn't there the whole time. I will say about big screen, I like it, but my ADD is so bad. I have to be multitasking. And
yeah, you were doing a lot of drawing.
I was drawing. I had fun. I was like, I got the little paints out and I was like making 360 drawings and moving in different places and making pictures. So, I made my own fun in big screen while I hung out with y'all. So that was fun.
Big thank you to Dave for hosting the big screen events and hooking us up. Thank you so much. Thank you for everybody who came out. I wish I remembered everybody who was there. Liv, Kai, Joyce, Will. Joyce fell asleep.
Dave,
sorry, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh God.
I think that was it.
And then I think Kim came to the first one as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's everybody. Thank you all for joining. And Joyce at the end of the old one, she was like just sitting there just looking forward. I was like, Joyce, and then later on she's like, yeah, sorry, I totally fell asleep.
That's hilarious. See, like big screen is not something that I would go into on my, I don't do a whole lot of VR on my own anyways, but I will not go in there on my own to watch a movie. I'd rather just watch it on my big
it's not the best way to watch a movie.
Yeah.
It's a fun way to hang out and watch a movie.
I did rent Interstellar and watched it through big screen when I first got the Quest, because I hadn't seen Interstellar and I was like, this would be a cool way to watch it. And so I did do that. And that was fun. But yeah, so big screen was fun. And then Walkabout. So played a little bit of Walkabout, mostly the new course.
Yep.
I have kind of a ritual on release day where I get home from work really early, and I go log in, I go find all the balls, and then I go do the fox hunt, and then I see who wants to play, and then I'll start playing the courses. But like I normally don't play it by myself. I just do the balls and the fox hunt.
Really?
Yeah, every time.
I haven't done the fox hunt yet, but I did find the balls.
The fox hunt was pretty good. It was pretty good. The club, not my favorite.
See, I like the club.
Really?
I do like the club. Yeah. I like the simple clubs though. I use the Gandalf staff all the time. Like, what I don't like about it is it's got a curve. Generally, that kind of messes with me.
Yeah. I mean, I like the very straight. Like I use either the one from Original Gothic or the one from Labyrinth. Those are the two like go-tos for me. So I played a lot of Walkabout. I also played a tournament match in one tournament I'm in, not the Q2AD one, the other one, which I'm not going to sign up for again because it's a one person, like you play versus one person each week, and you have to play 3 courses. So you have a home course, they have a home course, and then there's a neutral course for the week.
Okay.
So this week I played with a lady named Lady T, and she is 70 years old, and she was the nicest, sweetest person I think I've ever met in VR.
Wow.
We played all 3 courses. It was too hard. It was Tethy's hard, Original Gothic hard, and hers was Shangri-La easy. Took us 2 hours to get to those 3 courses, but we were talking a lot. So that was really fun. And then I joined Liv on his live with Lucas Martel, who's the CEO of Walkabout, and got to kind of give him ideas, listen to, his thoughts, kind of ask questions. Dave came as well. Dave was there. I think we were the only 2 like non-content creator people.
Who won?
Lucas would have won if he stayed till hole 18. He had to leave. So he stayed a good hour. And then
I imagine a busy
maybe
day
even longer. And then he had to bail. So he left, I think, at like hole 15. So because he left, I won.
Nice.
And that's important because I'm super competitive. But it was really good. It was nice to meet him. We also Liv had 2 people in there as well from Rec Room. So got to meet them as well. And then it was Shughead Gaming from what is that? The VR Grid podcast. Okay. He joined, and Dave and I and Liv and Lucas. Awesome. So it was a pretty big group and it was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was kind of it for Walkabout. I love the course. The course is great. Probably top 5 for me now, I would say. It's not my favorite, but it's really cool. I like the spoiler alert if you haven't played it. I like the, lighting that they do in the hard with the headlamp or the flashlight on your club. I think that's really cool.
Are you a headlamp or a flashlight girl?
I like I think the flashlight's really cool, but I like the headlamp's easier. You can see more. I mean, I feel like it's kind of a making it more easy mode than
my first playthrough, I went headlamp whole time, and then I watched the Upload VR with Lucas, and they emphasize how the first hole on that hard is like particularly dark. And after that first hole, I find that I can play with just a flashlight. Like you can see things, but that first hole, it's can't so see what the heck you're shooting at. So I now go headlamp, first hole, and then I switch. And I'm sure I'll memorize like where to hit it on that first hole. But that's what I do.
But I do think that mechanic with the flashlight on the club and how like no matter what club you're using, the flashlight's there. It's really cool.
And there's a skeleton on, I think, pretty much every course, and there is a hidden skeleton on this one. I will not spoil where it is.
Find it. I'll have to go find it.
But yeah, it is. It is. It is.
But I love the hole 18. The geyser is super cool. Spoiler. Sorry. If you haven't played it yet, what are you doing with your life?
It's true. And if you don't own Walkabout, get on it. Come on. Again, what are you listening to this podcast?
I mean, you guys are the ones who introduced me to Walkabout because I found you randomly when I bought a Quest 2 and I was just looking for like YouTubers. You guys were the first ones I found.
All right.
And I started just
search engine optimization.
I just started listening to all of the old episodes and everything because I'm like a learner. I wanted to learn everything about this Quest 2 and what games are cool. And you guys would not shut up about Walkabout.
Yep.
I was like, really? Am I really going to get in and play mini golf? Probably not. And now it's definitely my most played game.
I think this is how most of my IRL college friends feel when I'm like, yo, let's play mini golf. Like in their head, they're like, this crazy VR nerd. Like I'm not playing freaking mini golf.
We need to, I say y'all need to do another countdown. But I want to be included so I can give my favorite courses. So
as I was looking at all the new balls rolling in, and there's some cool ones. I won't spoil any of them. But I was like, we need to do one of those ranking videos of every single ball.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Or do a bracket.
Yeah.
This ball, like a March Madness situation.
Yeah. Which ball's better? I like it. I like it. That could be easier.
Yeah, so that was Walkabout. Did you have anything else with Walkabout you wanted to?
No, let's move right along.
All right. The other thing I've been playing a lot of is VR chat.
Oh my God.
I know you're shocked. So checking out some of the clubs and things like that through PCVR. Really cool. Live DJs, they have light shows. A lot of really cool avatars that you can I go in semi-safe mode and just turn on who I want to turn on unless we're friends, and so I can see they have dancers, they have I turn on the DJ and the dancers, and then if someone's like that avatar is really cool, I'll go turn that on. But one of the rooms
overload your PC pretty quick.
I don't want it to overheat or go crazy. He hasn't had any issues, knock on, but so one of the clubs is really cool. It has a lazy river. And this is the only time this week I got a little VR sickness and had to log off.
Wow.
And it's because of what happened. I went to this club probably 3 or 4 times in the past week. And it was just this one time. I'll tell you why. So it has this lazy river that has these inner tubes. You can sit on them and you just float. And it has rubber duckies you can sit on and just float. And people can throw you. They can pick up the whole inner tube or they can pick up the rubber ducky and
I see now.
Do stuff. So I think it was Damon picked up our inner tube or bounced into our inner tube or something because I was in a 2-person inner tube with Liv. So Liv was on one side, I was on the other, and it flipped us over.
Yep.
So underneath it was like this like magical tie-dye, like trippy, you know, visuals. It was really cool. But then somebody took our inner tube and shook it.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh! And I had to like, I got hot all of a sudden, felt nauseous. And I was like, okay, nope. And I like logged off. I was like, can't, done. But the other thing I've been enjoying in the clubs is Liv found me a bunch of like female avatars that are okay. You have to have like, it's all this whole avatar level. You can't have very poor avatars when you go to the club because that just drains the performance or tanks the performance. So you have to have a certain level. So he found me a bunch that were that level that have audio.
I'm picturing like a bouncer. He's like, yep, pour out. You in, yep.
Yeah. You in the back. I like you. Come here.
Yeah.
And so they have like animations on these avatars that are linked to the music. So like they follow the beat. So like my favorite one has like these little wrist things that change colors. And then when I like move my hands, these numbers fly out like Beautiful Mind. And it's kind of like a light show / glitter. It's amazing. And then she has like at least 30 pre-done dances. And some of them, like she has, you know, break dancing, like she spins on her head and does backflips and stuff. But she has actual like choreographed dances from music videos that I've done that choreography on dance teams. So I'm like, ooh, I like this one. And so I made my own mini game in the clubs. So if you ever see me in the club, this is probably what I'm doing. I put the like personal mirror up in front of me, and then I pull up so I can like see how she's moving. I pull up the dances, and then you can change the timing of the dance. So as the song changes, I change the timing so that the movements are exactly on beat with the dance. And then I'll change to a different dance. And like, depending on what the song is, it's my new favorite mini game.
I like it.
If you ever check it out, you're welcome. So that's been the whole club scene. The other thing, there are a couple other things that I've done in VR chat this past week. One, I went to Kmart. That was fun. Last night we went to Kmart with Tribe and Jordy, Mrs. Tribe, my favorite Mrs. and Kenzie or Kensai Gaming and Liv and Void and Damon. And I think Bits was still there. I think Hack had already left. I think that was the group. And so we were just kind of walking around Kmart, looking at everything they had for sale. And it was very fun.
It's just like for those who don't know, it's essentially a massive old Kmart. And they have everything on the shelves like that you could in theory buy. And it's just like a blast from the past.
They have this whole as seen on TV section where you see all the things, you know, like the ShamWow and stuff like Chia Pets. But it had something called an
R.I.P.
egg
Billy
sitter.
Mays.
Yeah. It had like an egg. It said an egg sitter. I don't know what that means. It was like a chair with like something on it. And we were trying to figure that out. And then it also had bread gloves, which were basically like mittens made out of bread.
Weird.
I guess that's a thing as on seen on TV, or they just took, you know, creative liberties and created their own. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then we went and played some shooter games that I was really bad at and didn't want to play. And so I kind of was a brat and made my character die. And so it just laid there the whole time. And then we played this one game that was super fun where things are like falling out of the sky and you're on these platforms. You have to like jump from platform to platform to not get hit by the things falling. And like the last person standing wins. So the first time I was the last person standing. And so I was doing my VR chat dances.
Nice.
And showing off.
Faces, yeah.
And then the second time, Tribe was the last person standing. And so he started doing dances too. And he copied my moves.
Extra, you know, sticking it to the man.
So that was really fun. And then we went to this really cool, I actually saved this world. It's like a spaceship, but you can change the scenery outside to like anywhere in space. And like there's planets coming at you and you can go like out in the middle of it. Really cool, really trippy, relaxing. That's when I logged off and didn't go to sleep yet, but should have. And then the other thing that we went to in VR chat, and then I promise my VR chat escapades are.
It's all right. We've already lost half our listeners.
So the other thing was a scary VR chat room called the Smile Room. And it's like
Sounds creepy.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I guess it's like a story, but I couldn't really, it was very creepy. You get very lost. You like get turned around and these like crazy, ghost monster demon things, like pop up. It's a lot of jump scares.
That's terrible.
And then there's one point where you like pick a room, and Bits, myself, and Kenza Gaming picked the basement because that's where you were supposed to go find like the girl you were trying to like rescue from this thing. And then Hack and Jordy picked the playground. So I don't know what they had to deal with over there, but in the basement, it's basically hide and seek with this like creepy, when it finds you, it's like this creepy clown, demonic clown thing that like holds on to you and like goes, ah.
Sounds terrible.
But you couldn't get it to stop. So it was just like nonstop hide and seek to the point that I was like, okay, I'm done with this part. What's next? And you couldn't get out. So it was like,
it's just like playing hide and seek with your kid.
Yeah.
One more game.
Yeah, exactly. And then he was like, no, you find me. It's like, no, dude, I don't want to find you. Can we be done with this part? So, but there were a lot of creepy things in there, a lot of jump scares, but a lot of creepy stuff. Yeah. So that's it for VR chat. Sorry for those of y'all who, tuned out. Now you can listen to Samson talk about cool things.
Yeah, I won't go that far, and I'll try to keep it quick. But as I've hopped into the new Walkabout Course and Quantaar, as previously mentioned, there's a new PC VR mini golf game that the devs said it's coming to Quest in the future. It's called Mini Golf Eons, and it needs some work. But his take on it is like much more real graphics, much more real physics, if you will. There's no like haptic feedback to when you hit it though, so I couldn't really get a sense of how hard I was gonna hit the ball. The scenes are pretty nice. I hopped into 2 of them. There's animals that are around. You clip through them, but they do look cool. Like there's a parrot, there's some penguins in the Antarctica one. But yeah, definitely. It's early in development, and he had a post on Reddit. It was like, I'll send you a key if you want to play test this. So I can't say no to a free game. But yeah, definitely needs some work, and every golf game I play like that, I'm just like, God, Walkabout is like even more credit to Walkabout. Yeah. Even more credit.
Yeah. I get it.
Got into bocce time with Dave, D-Max, and Jammy till my battery definitely died. I didn't quit because I was losing, I promise. And then I hopped in again to try to unlock some balls, and I got smoked by the easy bot, like 11-0, and that was embarrassing. What else? Oh, disc golf, hyzer flip. I've been playing some of that with D-Max. I won't say our scores, but if you're in our Discord, you've seen them. And I'm getting better at it, I think. I still like the mulligan because every once in a while my discs don't go where I wanted to go. So I mulligan that real quick and try again. But yeah, disc golf, hyzer flip, definitely a good base. It's early in development. But the developers super friendly, super easy to talk to, approachable. And there might be more to come in regards to them on LTO in the future. Little sneak peek.
Exciting.
And then a little while ago, I got into Among Us VR with a group, and
I was in there. Wasn't I in there?
You were.
Okay.
You were. Of course you were.
That was fun.
And yeah, my synth riders and audio trip workouts. And then I caved and I pre-ordered Asgard's Wrath, and that's my new home, is the one that comes with that. And that's all I have to say about that. And I finally
feel like home?
Huh?
Does it feel like home?
It feels like you're in what I've never been there, but I imagine what it would feel like in Egypt or some sort of Saharan desert type of deal, in a more mythical sense, because there's some massive, like godlike creature or whatever. I don't know. I never finished the first one, so I don't know the characters' names. And then I finally used my Oculus 30. I bought Drop Dead the Cabin, and now I am trying to get in that with somebody, but I have yet to do that. And I bought Rube Goldberg Workshop, but I'm totally waiting for Quest 3 before I hop in that, because that one's really meant to be mixed reality type of deal.
Pretty cool.
And that's it. That's it for part 1. And we'll move on to part 2 next. Hey, we know public lobbies in VR games can be a bit toxic, feel a bit empty at times. That's why we created the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, a friendly community that you can join for multiplayer meetups, general VR chat, the game, and chat about VR, fitness motivation, and there's even a very impressive 3D printing channel. Join over 100 of our community members in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord for free. The link is right in the description. Welcome to part 2. Thanks for sticking with us. Part 2. Here, there's a new leak, Jenna, that hinted at the name and price of the MetaQuest VR subscription service. And it looks like it's going to be 2 titles per month for $7.99. And you get to keep the titles in your library as long as you keep the subscription going.
Which is like the PlayStation one, right? Isn't that how the PlayStation one works? Yeah.
What do you think about this, Jenna? What do you think? Is it?
I mean, I'll pay for it. I mean, that's cheap for 2 titles a month to try. If I don't like them, it's not a huge, waste of funds. I mean, goodness, that's basically how much I spend on Starbucks when I go. So it's not that much, in my opinion. I doubt there's going to be a whole lot that comes out that's going to be multiplayer at that. I think it's probably going to be mostly single player games.
I am curious about the titles that they have in there. Yeah. I
mean, that's my opinion, but I'll probably sign up and, maybe I'll find a cool game or something. But to me, I mean, $8 a month doesn't price me out or anything. I think it's a good price point for it.
The price isn't necessary. I think that's a pretty reasonable price. The subscription model, I don't think, is geared towards a whale like me who has like 300 plus. I assume I'm going to own almost every game that is offered in this. So, if I don't, I might try it for a month or 2, but like everybody knows, my backlog is so freaking long that I've got games in my library I still haven't played. So I got to get to those first. But I think it's ideal for a new user. Like, you buy a Quest 2, you're like, I don't have anything. Boom, right off the bat, you spend $8. You can get into 2 titles that would have cost you $50 to $80, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, when's it coming out?
Nobody knows. This was in a leak, actually, and it was picked up by Mixed News, UK news outlet, and I started spreading that news in all these Discords, and the dude who actually found the leak hit me up. He's like, hey, I was the one who actually found the leak. Thank you so much. So thank you for posting on Twitter, and for allowing me to spread the news. Moving right along. Quest has a new virtual keyboard that neatly integrates into the apps. And this is, I believe, the touch keyboard. And so instead of just being able to use that in the Quest UI, you can now, or developers can add it into their games. How that will really help or anything, I'm not 100% sure, but it's, I guess, a nice potential feature for developers to have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. The only time I really use a keyboard is when I'm in virtual desktop and I'm trying to do something on my monitor in virtual desktop with my headset. And I haven't noticed anything weird about it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be cool or if I care. Honestly.
Yeah, I imagine this is more for the working apps or people who want to do more work on their Quest, and allowing it so you don't have to the developers don't have to spend the time developing the keyboard, right? They can just boom, stick this SDK in, and away they go. But who knows? You might be seeing more keyboards in your games. And wrapping it up, the last news story that I wanted to cover, outside of Apple, everybody been talking about Apple, but we're not going to talk about Apple here anymore on this pod. Well, we will in the future probably, but not on this particular pod, I mean. And this is titled...
Not on episode 91.
Yeah, not on
episode 91 is not about Apple.
Exactly. How the Little Mermaid Zainab got her virtual fins. Now, I could be butchering her name, so I'm going to shorten it to Z. But Z had a full multi-sensory experience where her sense of sight, sound, and touch was stimulated as the real and virtual worlds merged together with beautiful colors, textures, music, and magic. The walls changed color in response to sound. As we learned what color a mermaid sings in, the sequins and the sparkles mesmerized her as she further explored the room. A little back context. I believe she's either sick or in the hospital, or it's sort of like a Make-A-Wish type of deal, I believe. And this little girl wanted to be a mermaid. She wanted to experience that before she passed. And so they put this out to a bunch of developers, and they developed this whole thing for her. And so soon, Z and her 6-year-old brother were playing with dolphins and other sea creatures in the ocean. Her brother threw hoops in the water and enticed the dolphins over to play with Z, letting him take charge and be the one to bring the dolphins to Z, to be the one who made her smile.
It's gonna make me like cry. My goodness.
It 100% made me cry the first time I read it. It's extremely heartwarming and such a unique experience. I forget what the person or the company or whatever their name is, but this was picked up by Upload VR. So if you Google Upload VR mermaids, boom, I'm sure you'll find it. But there's a quote: we take children undergoing chemotherapy, flying through space, people who can't walk, swimming with dolphins, the elderly with dementia on trips down memory lane. And I wanted to give this some light, because it just was pretty heartwarming, I found.
Yeah, it's really good. I just pulled up the article. It said virtual reality therapies.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the name of the company or just the project or what, but very cool. Some
cool stuff. Yeah.
Heartwarming and sad.
Healthcare and VR is definitely like for treatment. There's things to be said, research to be done, and I think it can be chef's kiss for that. Yeah. And that does it for part 2. Next up, we have a very short part 3. The game's out this week.
Let's Talk Oculus is available on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. If you want to see the video version, it's available on YouTube and Spotify. And also, if you love us so much, then consider throwing us $1 at patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. Back to the show.
Hello, welcome to part 3, where we're going to mention the games out this week. Jenna, do you want to start us off?
Yes. So Pixel Ripped 1978. So currently there's no price on Steam or Oculus, but Pixel Ripped 1995 was $20 and Pixel Ripped 1989 is $15. So
figure it'll be around.
Who knows? Maybe 25, maybe not. So Pixel Ripped.
I'm hoping they all get packaged.
Yeah, that would be perfect, because I haven't played any of them, and I would definitely like to play this, even though I know it's single player. Pixel Ripped 1978 is the newest game in the Pixel Ripped series. See, this is harder to read than, you guys make it look. Our hero Dot has to once again fight against the evil Cyblin Lord, who has a very complex plan to hack into the game creator's past at Atari and to make himself the protagonist. But Dot isn't alone in this crazy adventure too. Through time, she has the help of Bug, Pixel Ripped's creator herself, as they join forces to dispel Cyblin Lord and launch the game on time. This looks really cool.
Yeah, this is and it's linked up with Atari. There are some old Atari games like basically remade for this 3D. It looks pretty sweet. All of them look sweet. Alex VR's favorite games. He talks about replaying them, and they are single player games that don't change much. So there's something to be said about that. Yeah.
Very cool.
And we don't usually talk about them, but this one looked pretty cool. It's a new App Lab title coming out this week called Sherlock Holmes, The Case of the Hung Parliament Sleuths. And you know who likes hung parliament sleuths?
I was going to say a thing or two about hung parliaments.
This game will be $11.99. And don your deer stalker and step into the shoes of the world's most famous sleuth in this gripping live-action 1 to 4 player point-and-click mystery detective adventure with 3 cabinet members already murdered by hanging and Sherlock Holmes missing in action. It's up to you to find the killer before Big Ben strikes midnight. Interrogate suspects, analyze crime scenes, collect evidence, and enter your mind palace to construct a compelling case in this whodunit that will push your deduction skills to their limits. Play alone or with friends to make this social sleuthing experience you will never forget. Combining the worlds of immersive theater and cutting-edge VR video technology, Sherlock Holmes, The Case of the Hung Parliament is a unique, evening-sized Oculus experience that you can enjoy again and again. So I think they're emphasizing that it's short and more of an experience than as some people get hung up on is this a game? Is this an experience? I think this teeters more towards experience. But yeah, the 1 to 4 playerness and I'm interested. I am interested.
I check it out. I like the term mind palace. Nobody wants to go into my mind palace. It's dirty and awful in there.
Keep me out.
Just stay out.
Yeah.
And then the evening size. So does that mean like you can finish it in an evening? Is that what they're trying to say?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I feel like this has it gives me the vibe of like, hey, let's have a board game night. Hey, let's have a Sherlock Holmes, The Case of the Hung Parliament night. It rolls off the
I mean, I probably will check it out if we get a group. That'd be fun.
100%. $12 I'm in for a night.
Yeah.
And that wraps up the news. And any flat gaming, Jenna? Any Disney games you've been playing?
Yeah, so I played 2 Disney games on my Switch. They're in early access. So basically the way they did it was you pay for the game and you get, special aesthetics and, skins and stuff. But it's going to be a free to play game with microtransactions eventually. Both of them are. So the one I play the most is called Disney's Dreamlight Valley. I love Disney. I'm a Disney nerd. Like, don't come for me. It's not going to change. Disney Dreamlight Valley is basically Animal Crossing with Disney characters with a storyline. And I just finished, I've seen the end credits, but the game keeps going because, they're going to add more characters. Yeah. There's always new stuff in the shop every day, that kind of stuff. So that's actually a game I log into most days because it's like if anybody has played Animal Crossing, it's like you got to go see what's in the shops. You don't want to miss
get your
out.
Dailies
and
in.
I'm a collector. I need to have everything. So even if I'm never gonna put it on my character or put it in my character's valley or house or whatever, I need to have it all. I need to at least have it.
It's like unlocked. That Real VR Fishing when they did the weekly, and then I missed that first week, which made it so I couldn't get the all 4 week one. Yeah,
and they're doing that a lot now, and I keep forgetting to go into Real VR Fishing. That's something I need to look at. So that I play a lot, and then the other one is another Disney game called Speedstorm, and it's basically Mario Kart with Disney characters. Same kind of mechanics, you pick the little block or whatever. Oh, my dog's got in here. Oops. You pick the little block or whatever, and then gives you special abilities. You can throw at people and stuff like that. It's been really, really fun. So I've been playing that a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, I haven't played much flat. I did try Demio on my Steam Deck. It runs pretty well, but the whole time I'm just like, yeah, I'd rather play this in VR. So I could see myself trying to grind out or finish a game on it that I start in VR. And then this other game I've been buying a boatload of on sale Steam games. Kingdom 2 Crowns. It's like a 2D, you can go back and forth.
Platformer kind of thing.
and it's like a roguelike, I think, or like you're kind of defending your village, and you're slowly building up, getting coins to upgrade your villagers. I haven't really figured. I played for like 25 minutes. I haven't completely figured out what the hell I'm doing, but it is visually pleasing, I guess I'd say. And yeah, I'll keep grinding a little bit at a time. It's not really a game you need to like dedicate an hour at a time to or plus, which is what I like. I don't finish very many games, but I consider myself a generalist. I get into a lot of games.
Yeah.
I just like trying them all. Yeah. And that wraps up this episode. Jenna, do you have a sign off you've been working on for your first podcast here?
I didn't know I needed a sign off.
You don't need one. It took
no.
me 78 episodes or whatever to even come up with a crappy one. So
LTO watchers, put your sign off suggestions in the comments, please.
Oh, look at that. Getting us some comments. Yeah.
Please.
Like and
I will read
too.
every single one of them, and I will like it, and I will pick one from what you guys put down below. So if only one person comments, I guess they get to pick my sign off.
I love it. Dan and I will read off some of those next episode. Love the dog in the background.
Yeah, there's my basset hound, and then I don't know where the Aussie's like laying right behind me.
I was gonna say I saw the tail of the Aussie, and then I seen the face of the basset hound. I'm like, those don't go together.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, nice. Well, that's it for episode 91 of Let's Talkulus. Thank you.